Hi, you're listening to Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. This is Mo, and thanks for joining us. In this episode, we talk about the TikTok teacher. How far is too far when it comes to social media and your profession? So take a listen and let us know what you think by dropping a review. You can also find us on Instagram, hashtag TGSTS. Thanks a lot.
And teachers are starting to get, reprimanded or
Why?
fired
What
for
does that
that
have
type
to
of
do?
stuff.
First of all, you need to control your kids. If they shouldn't be on TikTok, don't put them on TikTok. Like, and
Right.
what's taking off a shirt? What's that doing? They're not out here
Right.
doing prawns, like
Well, people prawns.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
I'm here.
Okay.
How you doing?
Okay. I'm sick, but I'm doing what we doing anyways.
I'm blessed.
Life continues.
Yep. So it goes.
Yeah. Have you been on TikTok lately? There's this
about my TikTok life.
Something that came up that got me. I sent it to you a while ago, but there's this teacher, I believe he's in Florida, who's been doing thirst trap videos.
What's a thirst trap?
It's like, let me take my shirt off and, come on.
Real
you thirsty, come check it out.
Yeah.
So he's a younger teacher, kind of cute. He kind of looks like a cute Carrot Top, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
got
know
some ginger vibes. He's younger, he's fit, he got tattoos. He's a math teacher, a high school math teacher. He got fired.
Okay.
For posting inappropriate. Imagine you were in high school though. You'd be like,
oh yeah.
So I mean, he's silly. He's younger.
My teacher looked like John Arbuckle. I had a little crush on my
Arbuckle.
He got fired.
Yes. So there's a lot of that. I know when we first started our TikTok account, I would scroll through and I found some really funny content, and a lot of them happened to be teachers. Some of them are like pre-K teachers, high school teachers, whatever, posting stuff. And there was this one we were just talking about the other day. It cannot always be what if you're not, even if you're not for the day. So that was a trend that was going around months ago, where they would use their ring light, with their shirt off, and put it behind their head, and then bam, like just muscles. But a lot of teachers did that. A lot of male teachers did that. And I was like, okay, preschool teacher or whatever. But I think a lot of parents are starting to speak out about it. And teachers are starting to get, reprimanded or
why? What does that have to do?
Stuff.
First of all, you need to control your kids. If they shouldn't be on TikTok, don't put them on TikTok. Like, and what's taking off a shirt? What's that doing? They're not out here doing prawns, like
prawns. Well, people were saying in the comments to this particular post or whatever, like, your kid never goes to the beach. You never take the kid to the beach. What's inappropriate about a shirtless guy? Especially he does videos in the pool with his dog and his kids. He's got kids. Like, he's a regular whole adult, with
he's like a dad.
A dad. Yeah. That young dude
looked like a kid. Yeah,
but he's got a kid. I mean, to be a teacher, you got to be at least 20 some odd, however old. Yeah. So, I mean, but he's got a kid. He does videos with his kids at the pool. Most of his videos are shirtless, but a lot of the parents are like, it's inappropriate. But when I dug a little deeper, he had done some videos with classmates or students.
Oh, that's effed up. No, that's messed up there.
These are high school. Acceptable. These are high school kids. Not
they're 18.
I don't think they're shirtless, but
you can't do nothing without a permission slip.
Right. But they try to take pictures with Mr. So-and-so. He's cool. He's a cool teacher, whatever. And I think this is why I think social media is tricky, is there's so many boundaries that need to be set and clear, so that you don't run into these types of things. I don't think he was ever doing anything endangering to any of his students, whatever. But the parents didn't like that he was appearing in some of their TikToks at school, just like, oh, teacher so-and-so
on the clock.
This. Or I mean, I don't know what it was, because a lot of videos are on the clock, like, oh, my teacher made this cool song to help me remember this. Look, or whatever.
Mnemonic. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But that's on the clock. His personal involved him being shirtless. And so people were like clutching their pearls over him not having a shirt on.
But my thing is these parents, like, I don't know, as a parent, maybe you can chime in, because my thing about, can't wait, hold up.
We're having a kitty cat moment.
Look at them. You see him?
Oh,
I can't.
Snuggle bugs. Cuddle bugs.
They made. But as a parent, it's like, y'all supposed to be raising kids, and half the time a lot of these parents aren't living up to these standards they're telling other people to live, and that's why their kids go to school and don't know how to act. So can we talk about that? Let me stop. But it's just like, what's this, like, what's the harm? I guess that's what I'm trying to understand.
I don't know. My kids aren't of the age to have their own social media accounts, cell phones even. And that scares me. And I think it is incumbent upon the parents to set those limits on what they can access, what they can do. But at a certain point, how do you stop your kid from having an Instagram?
Yeah.
If they've got a phone. Like, how do you do that? How do you stop them from having a TikTok account? How do you stop them from scrolling through TikTok? How do you stop them from looking at their friends' phones who have TikTok?
Secure network? I don't know.
It's real messy. And I think it's you got to just teach your kid what to do, what not to do, and then just hope that they listen, which is, I mean, come on, you know,
teach them red flags. Like if somebody is messaging you this kind of language or asking you to send anything, like you got to prepare them for it.
But if it's a teacher, and this is scary too, because this is like an open, I need to feed myself. But it's like an open door. Like there are certain adults you can trust. You try to tell your kids, you can trust your doctor if they want to, you know, examine you. You can trust your teacher. If something's wrong, tell your teacher. But like sometimes you can't trust those people. So it's a mess. Like it's parenting. Do not recommend. Like it's too much. Like
that sounds stressful. It takes a village.
It is. It's a lot. But when you have teens, I don't know how to parent a teen. I've never parented a teen, but I feel like that's a whole host of new problems.
Yeah, I taught them.
Yeah. See, I don't. And it's hormones and rebellion. They trying to be, you know, establish who they are as an individual.
I think that's the thing to remember. It's like that's all it is. It's all complicated, but that's what they're trying to do, is just establish themselves as an individual. Like
and I guess our job. Yeah, our job is just to tell them what's safe. There's a lot of this parenting stuff, and I know this is not what the topic is about today, but I'm like struggling with it. I like the idea. I don't know how to do it, live it. Is that these kids are not, they're individual people. They're going to be their own people. And one of the things is like, if they're doing something a certain way, don't feel the need to correct them unless it's literally the wrong way.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing
like,
it
don't create a menace
to
society.
No, but like if they're doing something different from the way you would do it, let them do it. If it's their way of doing it, it doesn't have to be your way to do things. And I think that's a problem I'm having, because like what is teaching them correct things to do and what is allowing them to be individuals.
What's an example? Like I'm trying to understand. Some things are just universal truth.
Something simple like, this is the way I put peanut butter on bread. This is how you hold the knife. This is how you whatever. Well, don't interfere. If they still get the peanut butter on the bread, let them do it their way. Don't show them this is how you hold it. This is how you, but for me, that's very difficult, because I'm like, well, the most efficient way, you know, is to hold the knife a certain way. And
I would say just continue to teach them that way. And then other things that you can be more flexible on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's like, you got to let the kids become their own person. And I think that's why a lot of adults are in therapy now, is because parents try to project themselves onto these kids, and they're like, that's me, that's mini me, so this is a version of me, whatever you do is me, like you are me and we are you, you know.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, no, this is a whole ass individual, unique person, unique DNA. They're gonna have core things that are obviously you instilled in them, but what are those core things though? Like faith, values, faith, whatever you taught them, even if they don't want to and they want to rebel to it, the rebelling shows that it's still instilled because they're trying to fight against it. And it's like, you raise a kid, like you raise kids. So there's just going to be some stuff that rubs off, but then you have to let them be themselves and not take it as a personal judgment. And I think that's what sucks. And a lot of people get repressed. It's a rejection. Parents take it as a rejection of themselves. Exactly. When maybe it is, but most often it's probably not, you know? Yeah. I ain't you. Shoot, let me be me.
But when
I
it
feel
comes
lucky
to social
I'm
media,
adopted, so I didn't get to have to really.
But still, your parents gave you certain things. You know, they raised you in a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
I just
obey.
I think yeah. Well, I mean, that's an important lesson though, and it's also important to teach when not to.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's tricky.
It's got to be a middle ground. Yeah.
As a parent, how do you decide when it's because sometimes I'll be, I'll tell my daughter something and she'll have attitude. I correct the attitude. Don't ever come it, but you know what? Yeah, maybe that's not the right thing. Maybe you shouldn't be if you don't feel like that's what you need to be doing. I don't tell her that. I can't be like, oh, if you don't feel like it, then. But I like that she has that in her to question, like, why do I need to do that when they didn't do this? And they didn't, like she defends herself very well.
Good for her.
But not always good. It's like, girl, I told you 10 minutes ago to get in the shower. Why are you sitting here looking at me watching the TV or whatever? Like,
I'm a kid and that's what we do.
She's rebellious like that. I don't know.
Testing boundaries.
But again, with this teacher and social media, like, do you think he should have lost his job? Or should it be?
I gotta read more about it because I feel like if he lost his job, it should have been on putting kids on TikTok. That's the only thing I could think of. Other than that, no. I mean, like, what is taking a shirt? Everybody takes their shirts off. Like, was it in a sexual way? Like,
it didn't seem like it from what I looked at. I mean, he was just doing his normal videos. It wasn't like he was like gyrating and doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. So
I also wonder if this is because he's young-ish. He looked like he could be a teenager himself.
Yeah, he looks like a teenager.
Is that a problem?
He's a whole parent. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a problem? Or versus if he was like 50, grayed hair, just had a nice shirtless body. You know what I mean?
You remember what was that guy's name? The senator or whatever, the politician who kept sending Wiener. Was it Wiener?
He did have a Wiener name. It was
something
Anthony
like
Weiner.
Yeah. And he kept.
Why does God do that? Why does he do that? Why are you gonna give it like what? Just like those
Weiner.
things, just like right? I mean,
that's being
different.
Shirtless and showing off tattoos. But that's what I'm saying. That was an older person, and that's someone doing malicious stuff.
Right.
Somebody.
This guy wasn't
living. It doesn't seem like it's anything negative. I don't know why he would get fired for it. So I had some people calling to let them call Karens and complain. And now I'm on leave. Oh, he's on leave. So he's like on a administrative.
I think he ends up getting let go though. But I also think it's also maybe just a climate now too, where a lot of parents, a lot of conservative, small c, not Republicans or whatever, but like people who have conservative values or whatever, are trying to take a firmer hold of what's going on in education and what's going on in that environment. And so maybe this is part of the culture war, the whatever. They don't want that near their children. Because I think he's in a southern state. I want to say Texas.
Right. So, all this freedom, but they say trying to control people. Yeah, I have no idea. I feel like somebody like that teaching, not bothering anybody, let the man live. And I feel like that goes into a broader theme of people getting canceled because of their social media. It's like
what they're doing outside of the workplace.
Outside of the workplace. And it's like, is it losing you money? Like, why is this like, what is the point? What are you trying to portray here? Code of conduct, like
control of culture.
Yeah, culture control. And it's like, that's why I believe in that concept. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't even know how to start thinking about it, but that concept of communes, shared values, shared beliefs, education, all of that in this small community, micro communities. And I mean, it sounds exclusive, but I think that's just the way it's got to be, because we're living in these environments where you can't be yourself. You're punished for being yourself. It's not bothering anybody and getting fired from his job. I mean, I have to see like if there's some backstory, but
if there's extra, I absolutely agree with it. If there was anything inappropriate with one of the students or something, obviously that's not okay. But just you hit on something. It's been ongoing for years now that people are like, oh, you said this. Ugh, who's your employer? And especially on Facebook or something. Ooh, are you Amy Smith that works at
then they'll put their
info,
place? Dox them. Yeah.
I hate that. And part of me used to be like, ooh, they got you, whatever. If they did something that I didn't agree with.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now it's happening to it's now I'm seeing that wasn't right, because anybody if there's a group of enough people with, a good search engine and some time, anybody can fall prey to that.
That's why I leave my stuff public. I'm like, you know what? I stand behind the stuff I say. I'm not saying anything illegal or anything like that. I'm expressing myself. I have a right to express myself, and this is my reality. And I'm sharing pieces of my reality. And it's like they want you to be replaced. I think we talked about this, and I think that we should do a pod on it, like fear and the way people use fear to control people. And it's like, oh, that's why like the concept of privacy, like it's almost set up to be like, oh, this is privacy is something that exists so that you don't get in trouble. Like, let's keep these things private so you don't get in trouble or something like that. Whereas I just kind of feel like it's used to control people, because all these people, like all these laws and stuff that are going through are all, like we talked about, based on privacy, and it's a way to control people. Oh, let's go dig in your stuff so we can find something that has nothing to do with what we're digging for, so we can find something else and punish you
and get you on
for your lifestyle. Like, let's get you. And it's like, who wants to live like that? God, I'm over it, man.
Ain't that some shit? I said, ain't that some shit? Oh, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Goddamn. It seems like a lot of people are being punished for things that maybe in the past would have been innocuous. And it makes you wonder, why is that? Where's the line? Where do we draw it? How far is too far? When are you allowed to be your authentic self, and when is that unacceptable? Make it make sense.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
That dude getting fired for being on social media. And the thing is, that lady, remember that lady who, the lady who did the birding, I mean, not the birding, the dog had the dog off leash, and the guy asked her to put the dog on a leash in Central Park, and then she called the cops or something on him. He got a show.
Bird watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got a show and she got her job back. So it's just like
it's just for entertainment. It's the news.
Yeah, it's just entertainment. That's all. These little anecdotes, like they happen all the time. So I don't know.
See, that's why I wonder about stuff. Is it just, created by the media for us to, hey, look over here, here's a distraction from whatever. And it's like, I mean, is this guy, like, if he didn't get, I'm pretty sure he got let go. I think when I read in the article, the notes, like not the notes, the comments or whatever, that's where more stuff comes out, right? People start talking about, oh, he had some kids in his video, or he had, whatever.
They see, like, even the way they said it, like, what are they trying to suggest? Like,
yeah. So I mean, but I looked at a couple of his videos. They just look like stupid TikToks. Nothing offensive, nothing inappropriate. He was just talking about stuff and like just being a regular person on TikTok, I guess. I mean,
gosh, and that's the way people bond. Like, so you have to meet people where they are. So if your audience is on TikTok, like students, a lot of teachers are on TikTok doing, like you said, mnemonics. They're doing like different kind of ways to try to reach kids where they are in the medium that works for them.
Do you think it's appropriate for teachers to have friends on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, be friends with their students? I agree with personal and private accounts. If you want to have a teacher account, that's great.
Yeah.
And if you want to have your private or your individual.
Like, I don't know if it depends on what your account is like. Cause to me, I see it as a group. Oh yeah. He posted a thing that said fired.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because there's a lot in the pandemic, especially a lot of teachers connected with their like.
Yeah, I know people who are friends with their students. Yeah,
YouTube and I use the term friends loosely. Like, you're connected on social media with your students, not that you're like DMing each other and being all like whatever.
Yeah, what you doing?
Yeah, but I mean, if they create content for their students, I think that's a great way to reach them, especially if they're teenagers. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I see it as like a Google group, or I don't know what they used to have, like, like a forum for students and teachers to be able to interact. And so I don't see
especially
anything wrong
today.
With that. Yeah.
Especially today. And especially coming off of homeschool or, distance learning, how else are you supposed to connect with your students? So maybe, and I think this is not too much to ask. I think maybe it's a good idea for teachers or professionals to have which most professionals just in general do, a professional account. This is where I show my real estate. This is where I whatever. And then this is where I show my family. And when I get turned with my girls or whatever, like that. So 2 separate accounts just to keep that line still. But still, I mean, as long as he wasn't doing anything, I mean, I don't know what he was doing. There must have been something. If not, this is really jacked up. But because I think we're going to be running into a teacher shortage again soon. The way they're doing these teachers.
Oh yeah, not getting paid,
or they don't want combat training or something. Like
that too.
Who wants to do that?
I try to block that out. Yeah, that's true.
And then there's a lot of places, Florida or whatever. You can't be out, or you just can't be, LGBTQ and teaching there, because if you get found out, even if you're trying to keep separate, which is not fair to people, because I saw a news story on like a Dateline or a 20 to something of a teacher who quit, and she taught 4th grade. She's married she's a lesbian, married to her wife of, I don't know how many, like a long time. She had pictures of her wife. She, her kids have asked her about it. And she's like, I'm not going to lie about my life. So when all the laws and all the stuff happened, she's like, I just had to remove myself from the situation because
good for her then. Shoot.
Yeah. But I mean,
you gotta live your life. God. And it's just like your livelihood.
But teaching is also part of her life. So I feel like that's such a terrible, like, what are we doing?
That's what I'm saying. That's your livelihood. You gotta work to live. Like, I wish you didn't. Like,
but she, she may have lost her job. So at least she left on her terms, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
She should have just let him push her out. Shoot.
Yeah, and then sue him or something.
That's discrimination.
Well, I mean, it can be. I don't know how the law is framed in Florida. It can be discrimination, but it's also you broke a law talking about your quote unquote alternative lifestyle with children, because you know how they're trying to
don't say gay or whatever it is.
Yeah. Which is in itself is discriminatory. How is that? That's going to go to the Supreme Court, I think. That's not even.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen with this Supreme Court. So who knows?
Ugh,
that's terrible.
Not to think about it.
It's ugly times.
It is. Beam me up, please. Beam me up.
Who knew? Like, I remember when RBG died, we were all together and it was like a moment. We had like oh no. Like it was
like a
this
doomsday.
Dread. Yeah. Like, and who knew?
Because the way she was holding on, I was like, maybe she knows something. I don't know. She gonna make it. And her ass died. I'm like, bitch, this is why you should have left in the first place.
Right.
God, dang,
but who knew? Who knew what all these, 3 years later, 2 years later, these new appointments and all this stuff, like abortion, like the
all this stuff is just coming all back up. Yeah.
Like her work, it almost feels like Trump coming in after Obama. Like all the work that you have done is being erased by this whatever this is, this agenda, this whatever. I don't know. Don't feel good.
Judging people, not letting people live their lives. Grown people just want to live their lives. I don't understand.
And it doesn't impact you. If it does, like my whole, this is my philosophy. If what you're doing is what you want to do and it doesn't impact me at all, do it. Do the hell out of it. Do that thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I don't care who you love, who you sleeping with. I don't care what you're taking, what you're doing with your money. I don't care. As long as it doesn't impact my life negatively. I don't care.
Exactly. That's what I say. If it's not hurting anybody, it's not, everybody's consenting, living their lives.
Yep.
What does it matter to me? Why do I have to be involved?
Right. Why do I need to regulate that? That's on you.
Yeah. Like, I don't get it. Humans, I can't stand them.
Is there another planet we can go to without the humans?
I wish I would have been there. Maybe they're working on it. Beam me up.
Yeah, Mars. I feel like by this time, 2022, weren't we supposed to be on Mars or something?
Right? Like I had hopes of technology. Like we have technology, but it's not as advanced as I thought it was going to be.
I know we're supposed to be in cars that float like the Jetsons,
right?
The
teleporting and shit.
Yep. Total Recall.
We sitting here, people vaguely. We sitting here, people doing all this BS, trying to cancel culture and everything. Cancel culture, cancel culture, cancel culture.
We're trying to go back. We're trying to make America great again. We're going back.
We're
going
trying to go
in
back
time.
to the public square and throwing tomatoes at people. That's what we're doing.
Except it's all online, so you don't even have to leave your house.
Exactly.
Terrible. Yeah, girl.
Well,
I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about this teacher. That sucks. I hope he finds some other job.
yeah, me too.
He got a family to support, looks like.
I'm sure he probably got OnlyFans or something now. TikTok monetized or something.
Oh, OnlyFans. Okay, Denise Richards and Charlie Sheen. Did you hear about this? You know they are. So Denise Richards, I guess she ended up being on Real Housewives for like a couple seasons in Beverly Hills. Their daughter together, who's young, she's like 20, maybe 18, 20, just opened an OnlyFans, started OnlyFans. And she's come out, Denise Richards is like, I support my daughter, whatever she wants to do, whatever. And Charlie Sheen is like, hell no. Like, I guess this is, her OnlyFans is an OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And so she's like, it's her path and I'm empowering her, you know, and it's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. We talked about parenting earlier in this episode. I don't know about that. Like, is that the right path to go? I mean, if she's like 18.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen up here saying no, and that's what he was going for the whole.
But he probably knows
3 decades.
They talk about that, you know. They talk about dad, like when you have a daughter, like, would you want her to date someone like you? Would you want, you know? No. They always ask that question, and so maybe he knows, like, please don't do this. You know, he loves his dog. Obviously, you love your kids, so maybe he's like, please don't do this.
Yeah,
you end up with men like me.
What do you say, Tiger Blood?
He's crazy. But he had had a substance abuse problem and was not right. But I don't know how I feel about her, like, coming out and being like, I support her in this, blah, blah, blah.
I understand it. It's kind of like we were saying with the peanut butter kind of thing. I mean, this is way more than peanut butter, but it's kind of like,
I mean, she may be using peanut butter. I don't know. I don't know what she's doing.
Like, I'm going to support you. I'm here. Like, I'm on the sidelines. I'm going to let you try to spread those wings and fly. I'm here to support you and let you.
Can you stop with these words you use?
What?
Spread those wings. Go ahead, spread them wings.
Yeah, spread those wings and fly.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that.
No, you have kids.
In theory, that's how, you know, support them in any endeavor. But there's some endeavors like, you're not going to do this.
Yeah. And that's where the parenting comes in. Like, that's not just a free for all. But I think, like you were saying, is it hurting her? Is it going to end up hurting her self-esteem? Like, I don't know. I don't know anything. I have to see the page to see like what she's talking about, what kind of page she has.
I mean, I guess it's case by case, but I feel like just as a general rule for me, like I'm steering you away from that industry, period. Like, I don't want you in, what
about those cooking ones? Oh, look, yeah. Charlie Sheen's now supports daughter Sammy. Charlie Sheen, Denise convinced me. I'm down with Sammy joining OnlyFans. He was initially pissed off that she joined the X-rated site, but his ex-wife proved persuasive in changing his mind. She supported the decision from the jump.
How old is she?
Now more than ever, it's essential that Sammy, 18, have an united parental front to rely on as she embarks on this new adventure.
I don't know if it is what OnlyFans is about. Like, as a parent, I would be like, you're not going to do that to my kid. I cannot support something like that. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't know how to explain it. But that's not an industry that I want any of my children participating in.
All right, dang. Oh, dang, TMZ. I didn't know half of this celebrity news. Gosh. Clickbait.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, that's all distraction. Like, who do we care that Charlie Sheen daughter doing? But I guess it gives us an example to talk about our own values and like what we will do.
Yeah, because I think that's pretty much what we were talking about this episode. This teacher, this whatever. It's just like, as a parent, like, what's appropriate, what's not. Or as an adult in the society, because it's not just parents. I mean, adults in general, we're determining what's appropriate and what's acceptable for future generations. So, I mean, I don't know. But I feel like at 18, I don't want my child on something like that.
Yeah.
Even though technically, legally, they're considered an adult, I don't think it's appropriate. So, yeah, that's what I think. It's my opinion. It's my 2 cents.
Do it, girl.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I don't have anything else to say. My stomach is growling. It's starting to hurt, like it's churning acids.
Oof.
And coffee. You put coffee on an empty stomach. Do that. You've been up since early in the morning.
I'm gonna take my butt a nap and then get on with my day. All right. Well, I hope you feel better, boo boo. Love you.
Thank you. Get some good rest. Bye-bye. Love you
too. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Please enjoy this mindful moment.
If it doesn't open, it's not your door.